Ahoy, ladies. This is Caitlin, aka Queen She-Wolf.
And this is Jamie, aka JD Star 88.
And we want to apologize for the delay of this podcast. We were just having some difficulties recording it. So we are going to talk about a couple of things today, but why don't we start off with the fun stuff since it is June? So Jamie, why don't we kick off this podcast with telling the one person that is listening to us what madalage is?
Yes. So madalage is basically with pirates. It was their version of a civil union. If two pirates had a madalage together, if one of them died in battle or illness or whatnot, then all of their gold and resources, weapons, anything like that would go to the person they were in the madalage with. It is basically a pirate version of a marriage, and it did turn sexual many times.
And since piracy was a male-dominated industry, a lot of these madalages were in same-sex relations. So many historians really do believe it as a pirate's form of gay marriage. So it's very nice to hear on Pride Month that Ed and Charlie practiced this sort of civil union. And also we do have some updates regarding how we're going about the project. Both Jamie and I, we have happy events going on in our life, but still there are events that require us to focus more on making money to pay for them. And we can't make money off of this. So unfortunately, that means that we kind of need to pick up the pace with this project in order to get it done out by next year. So, of course, that means that a 2-week deadline for getting something done, whether it be a scene, a chapter. We are also going to put this YouTube channel on hiatus after this podcast. So that means no listening to my ridiculous walkthroughs of DS. And of course, I am somebody that needs a due date because if I don't get a due date, then nothing gets done. And I personally, I'm of course, obviously, I'm ready to move on. I'm just ready to move on from TDSP. And of course, obviously, I don't want to abandon the project. But yes, I think all of us are ready to focus on these big life-changing events.
Yeah.
I know.
I would like to also add with our 2-week deadline, Caitlin and I are not like super strict about it. We understand life happens. Like just this past week, I was not able to get anything done because I had sun poisoning. So I was kind of out of commission. And it's not the end of the world. We're not angry about it. We understand life happens.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Listen, nobody here, including us, nobody here is being paid to get anything done here. So, of course, obviously, that means that there's no need to fire anybody. You gotta be a real mutinous dick, or just a dick. Maybe more mutinous and more dickish like Bob is in order to get kicked off this project. Like Jamie said, yeah, Jamie, you had sun poisoning.
Yeah, I was out for a good while.
You live in the sunshine state. I think that's
which is really funny because I hate the sun.
You hate the sun.
I hate the sun.
Oh.
And my best friends are like, then why did you choose to live in the sunshine area?
Sunshine state. Another thing that also we find a little bit difficult with this project, and we were just talking about this actually, is the writer's block. The writer's block, because now it comes in waves. It really does. For at least for me, it comes in waves, the writer's block. And I follow what Diana Gabaldon says, who's the author of Outlander. Pretty much what she says is, in order to get past that writer's block, you gotta keep writing. And I'm like, you know, but I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know what else to write. And I got a 2-week deadline to write something, to finish something. And that's another problem. And then I hate proofreading. Proofreading is an absolute fucking bitch.
Yeah, it is.
And that's another thing that Diana Gabaldon says. She says it is a thankless job. And she's right, because when I worked for designing ads for newspapers, there were these 2 women that would sit in a corner and just proofread 17 newspapers, both articles and ads that I've designed. And I'm like, oh my God, how are these poor ladies not falling asleep? Because it is so fucking boring. So I just hope, of course, there are no typos or spelling mistakes, because I hate proofreading so much. I hate it.
Professional, so be nice and have mercy if there are grammatical and spelling errors. We try our best.
We try our best. Yeah, we do. We definitely do try our best. We all work at different times. I work in the dead of night. So that's why I always feel bad, like waking up our crew on Discord when I say, hey, chapter 3 is done, and it's like, oh, great.
If it makes you feel better, you don't wake me up. Either Milkshake does or Brian does.
Oh, cats and fiancés. They're
the killer of sleep.
Yeah, no, I don't sleep. For some reason, I always write, not just write, just create anything, whether it be graphic design or anything. I don't know, maybe it's because it's silent, but yeah, we are kind of hitting a block. Another thing that we do want to say is that we are aiming for a shorter book. We do want to move on, especially with what's going on in our lives. And are we doing 10 chapters? I don't know. Are we going to do a little bit more than 10 chapters? Maybe. Are we going to get up to 16? I have no idea. Honestly, really, when it comes to chapters, I have no fucking clue how many chapters we are, but all I know is it probably be from 10 to 20 chapters.
And then, it's like we've discovered with choices, just because a book has multiple chapters doesn't mean it's a good book, because you got Witness that had 28 chapters and everyone freaking hated it. And then you got The Haunting of Braidwood Manor, only had 6 chapters. A lot of people liked it.
I mean, people love that book simply because it was a quick way to finish a book achievement and get 15 diamonds. But still, people like the story. Another thing that Choices is doing is, now that a lot of books, they don't really have set amount of chapters. They're all over the place. Like, I think Kiss of Death has like 21 chapters, or Getaway Girls has 19, or so they're all kind of, because I remember when DS came out, they were kind of in that phase where they're going, okay, most of these books are going to have 16 chapters. And let's see if we can fit an entire story in 16 chapters. And then they realize, oh shit, we probably can't do that.
And sometimes they could. Like, there were some books with 16 chapters that they were able to get the story out and tie up all the loose ends, like Veil of Secrets. That was tied up very nicely, and that only had 16 chapters.
Yeah. And then, of course, there are books like My Two First Loves. Like, why the fuck do you need 100 chapters here?
Oh God, that book. Sorry. Once again, these are our opinions. No offense to anyone if you genuinely liked these books.
Well, first of all, I don't think anybody really likes my two first loves.
I'm just putting the disclaimer out there. I'm just putting it out there.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, I don't think anybody likes my two first loves. I think with my two first loves, I think another thing. When my two first loves came out, it was also kind of like I think Choice's experimental stage a bit. They were like, okay, let's see if we can make a story that people will like, that they have to read every day for 5 minutes, and people still hated it. People still hated it. Same thing, or Witness was their experimental of, let's see how many diamond scenes people will choose to go further and further into the diamond scene. I'm like, no. These experimental stages, they suck. They fucking suck. These experimental books, they fucking suck, man. They're
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I'm tired. That with any story, it's all about pacing. And with chapter 5, of course, I've hit a block. I know. I just spoke to you about this. I'm like, oh shit, I just hit a block. We still have a lot of fun writing this story because we do have a lot of personal experiences and inside jokes that both make us laugh and both let us get all of our feelings out, and that's just what's just absolutely amazing about writing. Chapter 4 deals with a little bit of an emotion, especially for Charlie. And when I was writing the diamond scene for chapter 4, it kind of felt a little bit, just a teeny bit, and I had to watch the movie again. It kind of felt a teeny bit like The Breakfast Club, where they're all sitting around and they're all just talking about their lives. And I hate my parents. My parents are like this. This is what my life is like. And then they all find out that they're very different. All 5 of these kids are very different, but they all have something in common. So that's what I felt like with chapter 4. Minus probably the teenage angst. And then it also kind of got me thinking, like, MC and the LIs, which characters would be who in the Breakfast Club? But then I'm like, no, we need 5. We need 5. So maybe I'll add Bob in so just to round out the entire cast. But yeah, but you never seen the Breakfast Club, did you?
No, I know. I'm not caught up with the times.
Oh, don't worry. No, I'm pretty bad with movies too. Don't worry. Hey, I'll tell you this. This is how bad I am with movies. I have not seen, the only Pirates of the Caribbean movie I've seen was only the first one, and that was when it came out 20 years ago when I was in high school. When I was a freshman in high school. So at least 20 years ago.
The second one's not terrible. Third one's fourth and fifth is like, what the fuck?
What the fuck, as in it's bad, or as in what the fuck, this is amazing?
My opinion, fourth and fifth were not their best work.
And how many Pirates of the Caribbean movies are there?
Oh, there's 5.
Oh, there are 5. Okay.
Yeah, there's Curse of the Black Pearl. And the second one is Dead Man's Chest.
Okay.
The third one's At World's End. And the fourth one is On Stranger Tides.
Yeah.
And the fifth one is Dead Man Tell No Tale.
And I thought there were 7.
If they try to split any of them and try to they do a freaking Twilight and the Hunger Games and make the last movie 2 separate movies, come on.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need to stretch it out.
Yeah. So this may be a short podcast because it's very simple. We just want to move on from this project, of course, and we are a small team of people. So anything else?
Not that I can think of. And short podcasts are okay.
Short podcasts are okay. Short podcasts are okay. Another thing that I do want to say is for Pride Month, of course, we definitely do have, since Jamie and I, we are straight women, what the hell do we know about being gay? But we do, in our sequel, we do like to try to include everybody in our sequel. And we are very glad that we do have some people who are members of the LGBTQ plus community who could say to us, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, we're sure LGBTQ plus people will be represented. So we want to thank them for that. And yes. So I think honestly, I think this is just going to be a short podcast, and I'm pretty fine with that.
I am too.
And yeah, so once again, of course, I know there is one person that likes to listen to my ridiculous walkthroughs, and I truly apologize if I am cutting back on them. We want to get this done first, and then we can have some more fun with all the walkthroughs and everything like that. Anything else, Jamie?
Thanks for listening, y'all, and I'm very proud of our team, and may all your adventures be smooth sailing until we talk again.
Until we talk again. Goodbye.